I'm not who I thought I was.
Superman. He's forging a path to rule the Earth.
Thirsting for power. Superman has some of the enemy's international policy.
I was sent here to serve the people of Earth. That is what I do.
Superman. It's time.
July 11th, wallets open. No Snyderverse, no problem. Welcome back, super friends. Welcome back, Snyder bros, as well. I'm all for civil debate, as long as you are staying on the subject matter and not slandering, or only here to throw personal insults. You are welcome to share your views. I am not keen on having to delete comments, but if they are threats or involve slander, they are going to the trash pile. What's the hubbub? Let's continue on the subject of online slander being weaponized, as it ties into the propaganda about Gunn's recent comment, covered later in this video, which is getting traction, mostly on anti-gun channels. First off, posting comments in such a matter-of-fact manner that Gunn is a let's call it PDF here, when he's never done such cruel, disgusting acts. That is slander because it's knowingly saying something that is not true. I didn't like his tweets, but let me say he, one, was never charged or arrested for any harm on a child or anyone. It's just not something he has done. So calling him, one, out of an alliance to Snyder, knowing he's never actually been criminally involved in such things, is wrong. Two, he has explained, as one of my viewers put it well, his intent was to make taboo tweets, highlighting how Hollywood normalized such improprieties. I'm not saying I found them funny, but sometimes people highlight the subject matter in extreme ways to bring attention to it. Also, it's a false notion that thousands of related tweets were deleted. It was thousands of tweets from a period of time to wipe the slate clean. As in those days of Twitter, many people made it into a Wild West offensive environment. It nearly became a competition of who could say the most outrageous comments. No excuse, but let's be factual and admit, yes, they were different times. It was even before woke or anti-woke culture, and canceling was a thing. He made maybe more than a handful of tweets on that topic, but not thousands. In the scrubbing, which is what PR associates recommend to do, he also maybe made other jokes that weren't appropriate, I'm sure, plus otherwise non-offensive, forgettable tweets as well. It was all from a period of time, not thousands of PDF jokes. I'm not saying you have to like Gunn or even support the new DCU. However, the Snyder cult does tend to move from reporting things as they happened to adding nonsense to create narratives to weaponize against their perceived enemy. I do have a lot of Gunn optimists on my channel, and to this day, I defend Tyrone Magnus at the same time. Why, again, just because he isn't positive. On every single release of footage or stories for Superman, as a reminder, he has not boycotted the film, he is going to see it. He has even stated he is not into or a part of the wallets closed movement. He understands why it exists, but isn't down with being a part of it. Let me point to him being a voice of reason here. On the recent comment getting traction,
he's talking about the unknownness. It could be a kid anywhere, and it's like, okay, well, if it's just a child in a country, foreign country, or anywhere on the planet saying something, I think he's saying that I can't let that piss me off. I mean, like, was it a studio head that was trashing me? Was it another major celebrity that was trashing me? No, it's a child somewhere venting. Just let it go. That's what I got from it. But what I think is there are certain people that just don't like him. You've got people that, you know, are part of the Snyderverse. There are good people in the Snyderverse, and there are people in the Snyderverse that aren't so good. And they're very fanatical, and they don't like that he's even directing it. They don't like him, and they want to ruin him in any way, shape, or form. There are also other people that are not in the Snyderverse that just don't like him and they want to ruin him. There are also, from my comments I've seen, that not everyone. There are a lot of people that think he is a particular something that begins with a P. Every video I do about Superman, at least one person says something about it. I don't know whether the man is or not, but they think he is that, and they want him ruined. So if you can take anything and twist it, they will. All right. So, I mean, I don't even need to read any more of this. This is just normal stuff. Like, you see it done all the time. You see it done with any celebrity. You see it done with politicians. They just twist it all. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not in on the wallets closed thing, but a lot of people are. And it's mainly because, from my understanding, they don't like how WB did Zach. They don't like how they did Henry.
Snyder Bros, you want to claim racism now?
And what's crazy about this is very racist. There were people all over online talking about how racist this actually is to say something like this. And now they're talking about doing a boycott in India because of
For Gunn saying it's not worth getting into arguments too deep on social media. The broad point could have been any random country, but of course you use it as fuel to add to the fire for Team Snyder cult.
Just another day in the life of the Justice Gang.
Not our name makes us sound like cowboys.
For context, Gunn is saying there is a chance that he is arguing hypothetically with a child across the world in another country and not even another adult. So engaging too much is not worth it. Of course, though, use this as an opportunity to misrepresent him, since slandering may help the movement. Snyder Bros, let's play a would you in this case game. Would you call harsh critics xenophobic for saying people in Brazil are poor so don't know what good movies are?
That may be true. But the people are in Brazil, they're poor. But that may be true. The flight scenes may be incredible according to some people.
Would you label Aaron Fischer as sexist for making up a term, womansplaining?
Lois is telling him she's womansplaining to him. Some people understand that.
You can literally go after just about anyone's comments and even alter the context to try to change the intent. This fandom divide has almost become mud-slinging to a degree, like that of political races. Of course, I was disappointed that after harsh critics went after Rachel's looks and other cast members so extremely that he didn't have the self-awareness after to apologize and recognize it was far too toxic.
But a lot of these clowns got mad because I was talking about that big four-headed scallywag Rachel Brosnahan, which, like I said, I never seen her in any of her films, but she sucks. In this photograph right here, she looks pale. She looks like she doesn't have any color to her. And the first thing I noticed is her big ass forehead. Like, the chick looks like Skeletor. Like, literally. That's just my opinion. Now, if I was to rate her looks, I'll probably say maybe she's a 5 at best without makeup. These are just ugly characters, but that's James Gunn. That's his casting. He cast the Kents, who are ugly, the Cornball, who's miscast, and Rachel Brosnahan, who just looks like a scallywag at this point. And a lot of you clowns have a problem with me talking about this lady.
Also, it was disappointing that Aaron Fischer was aware of those attacks, but did not denounce that level of toxicity and continues cross-channel support. Since they align on the Snyder movement, I guess he didn't want to lose subscribers from that audience by speaking up.
And I'm like, why? Why are you trying to be a Captain Save-A-Ho or Captain Superman for this lady? This lady don't give a shit about none of you clowns, but yet you guys are defending her like you're doing something honorable.
If that's not the case, I wish he'd speak up and denounce that type of toxic rhetoric.
I can guarantee that lady would never fuck none of you clowns. And she probably fuck harsh critics because harsh critics keep it real. But, you know, that's just another video.
I'm even seeing Jurassic World Rebirth being used against Superman in hopes to damage its box office. I'm not boycotting Rebirth, Fantastic Four, or any other movies. At some point, I am catching all of these in a theater. What is ridiculous is these guys know it has a 50% range critical review on Rotten Tomatoes. I believe it's 70% range on audience review, which is pretty low also. They have talked it up because they feel if it does well, it hurts Superman. They like throwing the term shill around. Yes, that behavior is Snyder shilling. Rebirth can be a mid-movie, but they have to pull so many punches now in talking about it that it's laughable. They have to talk it up even if it's mediocre and say, hey, it's worth going because the dinosaur moments are cool, even if not a great film. Keep in mind, all the while, they're saying to not see Superman as they don't support mediocrity. Of course, they haven't even seen Superman yet to objectively determine that it is mediocre. I get it. Some of the Snyder channels got a lot of subs, so they can only get views by bashing Gunn and Superman, catering to that base. I am also focusing on this release and implications to the DCU. That's not lost on me, but I feel with all these Snyder advocate channels running with rumors and changing context to provide misinformation, yes, normies and fans alike can use a counter perspective. They shouldn't have a predetermined conception to dislike Superman based off of rumor and innuendos. Take, for example, screening rumors. Someone said a rumor that there was Snyder fan bashing worked into the movie. Did you see this footage yourself? No. Did you see a final cut of this movie firsthand to confirm? No, you ran with it as fact, and there is no tangible proof as of now that it exists. You Snyder bros want to be agitated and rile a base for the movement? And again, I have to point out, this isn't all Snyder fans. The Snyder cult is a specific online anarchist armada, as they call themselves. Even recently, we had someone call it a leak, but release a purposeful hit job ahead of review embargo lifted to hit Superman. Those are the tactics to bizarrely go after the movie.
You ready?
Let's go.
I'm the sole hope for humanity.
Buckle up.
Good luck with that.
I cannot guarantee everyone will like it, and we need to watch it for ourselves on the big screen. However, there are a lot of spoiler-free, positive reviews and word of mouth as well. If they get mentioned on Snyder advocate channels at all, they wrap the positivity in bouts of paranoia towards shilling. On some recent tracking reports, it really seems like Superman is a tough movie to crack. By that, I mean the range is incredibly wide from the low-end to high-end estimates. I know there are some Gunn fans saying it will do the highest range, but I have always said I'm unsure of that. It's not pessimism as much as knowing the challenges it must face. The Snyder bros only talk up $1 billion so they can say flop, even if it was never a viable expectation. This movie has a lot of challenges outside of just being good. We're rebooting a DC movieverse. After the DCEU failed and consumers lost faith, getting them back, if at all, may not be from the first movie out of the gate. Superman needs to rehabilitate the brand in a genre that's been down due to mediocre superhero movies. The last 2 Marvel movies did not even average $400 million worldwide. The Marvel brand isn't even flop-proof now.
You want me to drive?
We'll take my ride.
You have a flying saucer, but you couldn't get a faster garage door?
I haven't worked on that yet.
Dude.
Eyes to the skies, though. Look up, not back. We shall see soon enough how fans, critics, and box office does. I hope the movie is good and the DCU can start off well. I want to see these great characters thriving in live action again. Take care of yourselves and others.